Theresa Mary May was born on October 1, 1956 in Eastbourne, Sussex, to Zadie Mary and Herbert Brazier. Theresa's father was a vicar for the Church of England and her mother a housewife. Theresa had her elementary education in straight-run primary and grammar schools and briefly went to Catholic schools. In 1977, she gained admission into St. Hugh's College at Oxford University and earned a BA in geography. It was during her time in the college that she met her husband, Philip May, and the two married in 1980. Upon her graduation from Oxford, Theresa spent the next 20 years working in the financial sector before making her way into the educational and political sectors in the mid-80s and 90s. She was elected as Conservative MP, Member of Parliament of Maidenhead, describing herself as a one-nation conservative. In 2002, Theresa was appointed the first female chairman of the Conservative Party. She worked in a number of shadow cabinets before becoming Home Secretary in 2010 and also the Minister for Women and Equalities, a post she vacated in 2012. She was the longest-serving Home Secretary in 6 decades and was known for her work on police reform and pursuing stricter drug and immigration policy. In June 2016, the United Kingdom shocked the world by voting to exit the European Union, an event which is referred to as the Brexit Britain exit referendum. Shortly after the event, Prime Minister David Cameron announced his resignation and Theresa May announced her candidacy for the Conservative Party. She quickly emerged as its frontrunner, receiving 50% of the parliamentary votes alone amid the other candidates. With no one opposing her candidacy, Theresa was sworn in as the first post-Brexit female Prime Minister. On July 11, 2016, Theresa was sworn in as Britain's second female Prime Minister. On July 13, 2016, and the Queen's 13th Prime Minister following ceremonial overtures. On May 29, 2017, the new Prime Minister officially told Parliament that she had invoked Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, legislation triggering the legal process to set Brexit in motion. To that effect, United Kingdom's ambassadors to the European Union, Tim Barrow, delivered a letter to European Council President Donald Tusk, notifying the EU that the UK was leaving the Union. On June 8, 2017, Theresa's Conservative Party lost its parliamentary majority in an early general election. In November 2017, Theresa faced more troubles with the resignation of 2 cabinet ministers, Secretary of State for International Development Priti Patel and Secretary of State for Defense Sir Michael Fallon. In 7 days, this aroused concern that the Conservative Party was headed for a further disorder, including a possible change in leadership. In early December, it was reported that MI5, the British Domestic Intelligence Agency, had thwarted a terrorist plot to assassinate the Prime Minister. According to the report, 2 men had plotted to use improvised explosives to blow up the gate at the Prime Minister's residence and to kill her in the ensuing chaos. The 2 suspects were apprehended in late November. Shortly afterwards, on December 13th, Theresa suffered another setback in the ongoing Brexit process when the Parliament rejected her request for maximum leeway to negotiate with EU leaders over terms of departure. The Parliament voted that any final deal to withdraw be submitted via legislation. This resulted in the Prime Minister being viewed as to have diminished leverage heading into her discussions with the EU. The Prime Minister's relationship with Donald Trump was bumpy. Still, Theresa sought to present a more unified front with the American president when the two met at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland in January 2018. In February 2018, Theresa chaired the first of 2 Brexit meetings with senior ministers to align the parameters of a relationship between the UK and the EU. By March, the 2 sides had agreed on some terms and reached a compromise. The provisional agreement will terminate on December 31, 2020. On January 15, 2019, just 10 weeks before Britain was scheduled to leave the Union, Theresa was defeated in Parliament, where lawmakers rejected her proposed Brexit deal by a vote of 432 to 202. Consequently, the Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn declared that he was offering a motion of no confidence in Theresa's government. On May 24, 2019, Theresa announced her resignation as Prime Minister and leader of the Conservative Party. The news came shortly after her latest contested Brexit plan, which included an offer to vote on a second referendum, was unveiled. On July 24, 2019, Theresa formally stepped down from her post, giving way to the new Prime Minister Boris Johnson. In the ordinary day, when she was not doing politics, Theresa was a devout wife to her financier husband, Philip May. In 2012, Theresa was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which resulted in the couple not being able to have children. The couple has spoken out publicly about their condition. Outside of political career, Theresa has a reputation for her style and fondness for shoes. She is an Anglican and worships regularly. Thank you very much.